If you're walking along Cooper Avenue and Irving Avenue in Ridgewood, Queens, you'll come across this empty lot that was once home to several small businesses. But more than 80 years ago, there was a company here that left behind what's been described as the most radioactive place in New York City. Founded in the early 1920s, the Wolff-Alport Chemical Company was a small industrial processor specializing in rare earth materials. Around 1940, the company began importing monazite sand from what was then the Belgian Congo. The sand was valuable because it contained rare earth elements used in manufacturing, but it also naturally contained thorium and small amounts of uranium, making it radioactive. In the late 1940s, the company supplied thorium-bearing material to the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, but there was one major problem: the waste. Until 1947, the company dumped radioactive liquid waste into the sewer system and disposed of additional waste on the property. The Atomic Energy Commission eventually ordered the company to stop, but by then, the contamination had spread into the soil and surrounding sewers. After the company closed in the 1950s, the site became home to several small businesses whose employees unknowingly worked above radioactive contamination for years. In 1987, federal officials alerted New York agencies about possible radiation at the site. Initial testing in 1988 confirmed radiation, but it did not exceed the federal cleanup standards in place at the time. It wasn't until decades later, after new radiation surveys in 2007 and 2009, that investigators discovered contamination inside the buildings, deep underground, and even in nearby sewer lines. Officials concluded that long-term workers faced increased health risks, though the site was not considered an immediate danger to the surrounding neighborhood. Beginning in 2012, the EPA installed steel, lead, and concrete shielding to reduce radiation exposure while planning for a permanent cleanup. In 2014, the EPA designated the site a Superfund project, beginning a long-term federal cleanup. After years of negotiations, the last buildings were finally emptied in September of 2023. Today, the buildings are gone, but the radioactive legacy remains. This site is a reminder that the consequences of irresponsible environmental practices can outlast the companies that caused them, leaving communities to deal with the aftermath for generations.